Our next story is about lions, the kings of the jungle. Lions once roamed across Africa and Asia. They even lived in Europe in the past, but today they are far more restricted. Wild lions are now mostly present in 3 regions: Central and Eastern Africa and India in the state of Gujarat. In Africa, lions are under attack. The latest report from Uganda is grim. Uganda used to be home to almost 500 lions. This was back in 2014, 500. Last year, the number went down to 275, which is a massive drop. And a stark contrast to the story in India, where lion conservation has been a roaring success. Pardon the pun. But recent surveys say that India is on the right path and the world could learn something from Gujarat. Here's our report.
Uganda's Tourism and Wildlife Ministry has sounded an alarm. Yesterday, they painted a bleak picture. Uganda says that its lion population is falling, and fast. Over the last 20 years, it has declined by about 45%, almost half. This fall hasn't been constant. It seems to have spiked in recent years. Between 2014 and 2023, Uganda's lion population fell from 493 to 275. And this is a cause for great alarm in the tourism-dependent East African nation. Tourism accounts for almost 7.6% of Uganda's GDP. The country relies on tourism for valuable foreign exchange, and wildlife tourism is the biggest earner. Uganda is home to a rich biodiversity. It has giant elephant herds, tens of thousands of buffaloes, and over 2,000 giraffes. But the biggest crowd puller is, of course, the king of the jungle, the African lion. Uganda is famous for 2 types of lions. There is the standard variety, the lions who make their home in the tall grass of the African savanna. But Uganda has another type too, lions who can climb trees. These jungle cats reside in Uganda's Queen Elizabeth National Park, making it a must-visit for wildlife enthusiasts. But whether standard or tree hugger, Uganda's lions are being killed. Sometimes by hunters, but often by ordinary people. People who live near national parks and are tired of lions making away with their livestock. This human-animal conflict is a major problem. A number of communities live around Uganda's national parks, and the government hasn't done enough to protect them from the wildlife. They are due compensation for any animal attack, but often this does not mitigate their losses. So the frustrated locals have started taking matters into their own hands. They often end up poisoning the lions. Uganda's government has tried to make an example of poisoners in the past, but it hasn't really worked. And as a result, Uganda's lion population keeps dwindling. That is the story in the African continent. But across the sea, the tale is a little different. The Indian state of Gujarat is a success story when it comes to lions. A few weeks ago, the International Union for Conservation of Nature lauded Gujarat. It said Gujarat's lions were 19 times safer than their African counterparts. Their numbers have been stable in Gujarat, reaching 674 on last count, meaning Gujarat has 400 more lions than Uganda. In fact, the IUCN says that lions in Gujarat are no longer endangered. How has the state managed this? What is the secret behind the Gujarat model of lion conservation? Well, part of it is attitude. The state of Gujarat tries to foster coexistence between humans and lions. They are expanding the lion sanctuary in Gir to give more room to the growing lion population. Indian courts are also taking note of threats, like the Indian Railways, for example. The courts have asked railway authorities to stop incidents of lions being run over by trains. Every arm of the administration is working to conserve Gujarat's lions, which is why it has borne fruit. Hopefully, Gujarat can serve as a model for conservation for Africa as well.